Boop. Okay. What we got? We're up. We're up. And Twitch. We should be up on... Yes. Awesome. Sweet. Great. Okay. Hi, everybody. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Let me go ahead and submit my taxes here. Boop. Alright. And, Nathan, congrats on grabbing first. Hope you're doing well. It's good to see you. And thanks for submitting your taxes. There we go. Okay. Doot. And then up here. Gotta do a sum of this. Boop. 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 All right. Hi, everybody. It's good to see you guys. We are live, just like only 2 minutes late. I'd say that's not too bad. I'll be 100% honest. That's not too bad, given how I usually am. I will take that in a heartbeat. Just followed you. I'll be joining the stream with friends. I don't just add people on Discord, but I appreciate you following and popping in. Welcome, welcome. We're still getting the green flickering camera. It's just kind of one of our specialties here, you know? I think we're stuck with that from here on out. I won't lie to you all. Snacks, welcome on in. Thank you for submitting your taxes. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Today's stream is going to have a lot of spoilers for the video that's planned to come out this weekend. So, for those of you who, like, genuinely are, like, really not wanting any spoilers whatsoever, there's not really going to be any way around it today. It is literally right in front of me. Not, like, right in front of me here, but when I turn off the free cam, you'll probably end up seeing it because it's not too far away from here. So, just throwing that out there. Hey, guys, don't tell me to add you on Discord or I'll ban you. You guys are spamming at this point. If I see a third one, I know. Was about to watch TV. I may stop by again later, but for now, have fun streaming. Thank you very much. Enjoy TV snacks. Appreciate ya. I'm not taking your date night ideas again. Why? Are they just that good? What's with the Discord spammers? I don't know. I don't know. The thing is, like, it would be different had I seen these people before. But they haven't even followed me. That's the thing. Like, it's one thing to say... Well, maybe actually you did. Hang on. It says follower. But I can't recall when you did. I'm gonna be honest. Following since 1 minute ago, account created 7 minutes ago. Yeah, like... You guys can't just lie. That's not how this works. I love your stream and enjoy being part of your fan community. That you aren't a part of the community. You've been here for all of 7 minutes. Congrats. Like that. It's such a new account that even Twitch hasn't sent the notification through on my side. Like it's such obvious bait, and I don't know if anybody actually would fall for it. Maybe they would. I would assume if you're preying on like a lower end streamer who doesn't have like any viewers whatsoever and they're getting desperate, I could see it. But I do have real people in my chat. I've got Nathan and Snacks at least. King, I've been a follower for like more than -2 minutes. You should friend me on Discord. I really should. For real, for real. Both accounts created and followed today. They literally were just created. That's the crazy thing. Alright. I think I've given proper warnings at this point. Boop. Alright. So, I've had some fun. It's actually not visible, really, from here. If I just step a little closer, you can sort of see it. It's a lot it's a lot cooler than what it was just on stream a couple days ago even. It's now a little more 3D-ified, and it's got a gradient. Can't really see it from here because it's all in the fog, but it's there. That will probably be seen multiple times on stream. We're gonna go to the bee farm at some point and actually work on farming some bees as well, because we need a lot of wax in order to wax our copper. But also today we're gonna be doing a lot of fishing because we need, and by need I mean desperately need more mending books. So bear with me here. Actually, you know what? Let's clean up my inventory really quick. Anyway, I'm gonna dip now. See ya. Have fun. All right. See ya, Snacks. Thanks for popping in. I appreciate ya. Have a good rest of your night. Doop those away, and then I think everything else I have comes from other places. Okay. Hello, Nikita. Welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. You do have me friended on Discord. I thought I did, but I wasn't entirely certain. Nikita, thank you for submitting your taxes. Appreciate you, dude. We'll do that, and then that. Okay. How much blocks do I have in here? Not really a lot. We'll wait. We'll wait. I could make more, but I don't know if it would really do me much good to have a ton more right now. We'll hold on to the poppy for later. I don't think we need this copper armor for anything. I'm just gonna toss it out. Okay. She cried and I asked, what's the matter? Did I do something to make you mad? And she said, no, you're doing great. I just thought my family loved me, but they always cut me out of things and bully me. And you don't, and you're now questioning yourself. Huh? Wait, can we be friends on Discord or streamers? No way. I know, it's crazy. It's crazy. It sounds like there's a lot more to the past there, Spicy, than well, either of us probably realize. I had to tell her, I've always been questioning yourself. Pizza's good? Hey, pizza's always good. If it turned out good, that's a successful date, in my opinion. I never knew how long 10 hours was until now. What was 10 hours? Or was today your travel day? In that case, fair enough. Fair enough. Maybe friends on Discord. Yeah, it's crazy. It's absolutely a crazy thought process there. Honestly, if it weren't for the fact that there's so many scammers and a lot of bad people on the internet, I wouldn't mind friending so many people. But some of y'all have given me trust issues. I say y'all. I think I've gotten rid of all the people with the trust issues, or that have caused me trust issues. But, there's so many scammers. There is so many. Oh my goodness. And then there's so many people who just want to, like, use you for certain things. And it's like, you know, I don't mind, like, being around for people. But what I don't like is being people's emotional support animal. I don't like being, their emotional punching bag either. You know, there's a lot of things I don't like, and unfortunately there's that line, and this has kind of come up a lot recently, it feels like, online at least, where creators are talking about it again, and I don't really have this issue, I don't think, too much. You guys are actually really great about boundaries right now. You guys aren't, like, parasocial, which is awesome. But for those of you who don't know, parasocial is where you form a one-sided attachment to somebody who doesn't really know you, essentially. It's a little more complicated than that, but on the online space, it's very common to be pretty much just like that. Um, you know, plenty of people will watch a streamer. They may not even say much, but they'll start calling that streamer their friend. Because they know a ton about that streamer, you know? For example, you guys hear me talk about stuff all the time. You guys really do know a lot about me, but you don't know everything about me. And I know a decent amount about you guys too, but we don't have the same, like... We could even probably hang out, honestly. It would probably be fine. But, you know, for a lot of you guys, I may not know you well enough or have the experiences enough to call each and every one of you a friend. And that's really the problem on a larger scale. Like, when you have people with thousands of viewers at once, and there's people calling that streamer their friend because they know everything about them. You know, it's kind of like that streamer doesn't know you. On the smaller scale, it's not such a big deal. And honestly, the most people who do actually call me a friend usually probably have earned that right because they do know enough about me and I know enough about them. Or we've at least played a game together. That's usually, like, if you can play a game with me, we could probably be friends. Or just do what most other people do, friend me on Discord. If I accept it, there's a chance for friends. I made a rule when I got on the internet that very rarely would I ever send anybody a friend request. I'm trying to think right now, this second. I cannot think. I have sent a couple of friend requests. I sent one to Kit after she blocked me. That was funny. I had to send a friend request for that. I sent a friend request to Pi Pi because she was trying to friend me once. And I could find her faster than she could find me, so that was done. Outside of that, though, I usually make other people friend request me. That's... I don't know why. It's always been the position I've held for myself. I'm not too cool for friend requests. It's just... I don't know how to do it without it feeling weird. Still traveling, jeez. Really? That long? For me, 10 hours would almost be enough to get me there, I feel like. I mean, you are going with a larger group, so you probably had to have stopped a couple of times if you hit traffic. That's fair. That would make sense. So can I'm still here, still traveling. Emotional support animals get free travel. That's true. You know, I've always thought about that. Like, it would be, if I were doing a lot of travel, especially by myself, there's a lot of benefits to me getting an emotional support animal. I don't know if it would really do me a lot of good, or if I could even get the permissions for it. Probably not. I more than likely could not. But there's at least the thought process there. I could ruin everybody's day. Now, actually, if I ever ended up, like, actually needing an emotional support animal, genuinely, I'd make sure it was a well-trained animal. Everybody would love me because of that. I find more often than not when you do go somewhere and there is an emotional support animal present, it's more so just the title given to it, even though it's not technically really doing much emotional support. It's kind of doing more mental trauma to people around it. You know, I don't mind. I actually love therapy animals. They're awesome. But I think a lot of people abuse those allowances for people who actually have disabilities just to bring their pet around sometimes, and that's not all right. Because there are reasons those rules are in place, and by abusing those rules, you end up making it harder for people who actually do have disabilities to get their animals onto aircraft, for example. Like right now, if I'm not mistaken, a lot of places don't even really let you board an airplane with an emotional support animal anymore, because of that issue. They say the animal has to ride, in the cargo, or in certain scenarios, in very certain scenarios, sometimes they can still ride in the passenger spaces, but it's becoming more and more harder to get that allowance, just because they're not technically allowed to ask if you actually need this animal. And I get the spirit of why that is, but I also understand that people have made that such a problem. There almost needs to be, and I know there's laws against this for a reason, but there almost needs to be just like a governmental license when you get your, when a doctor would have to give it, basically a doctor note, that says, this is why this person is allowed this thing, you may not ask any further questions. That would at least make it a little harder on people who are just trying to abuse the system. But I also understand that does limit accessibility as well in another frame of mind. So it's a slippery slope. Where do you draw the line? And I don't know what the answer is truly there. I'm just yapping out loud at this point for yapping's sake. Don't worry, not planning on scamming. Don't even think I have people friended. Oh no. It's okay. I'm always amazed by the amount of friends I have. Like right now I have 21 friends online. Now honestly, I don't talk to most of them. I can see 1, 2, 3, 4 of them that I talk to, maybe 5, on a somewhat regular basis right now. The rest of them I either talked to in the past and then we fell out of contact, or they friended me for something because we were in a server together at one point in time, or I was too nice to tell them no, I don't want to be your Discord friend, and we're just sitting there at a stalemate and I'm waiting for them to go offline and we think about it at the same time to unfriend them. Am I a terrible person for that? Probably. But sometimes the hard thing is the right thing, okay? We get to Disney Springs in an hour. We left at 7 a.m. CST, and now it's almost 8 p.m. EST. That is insane. That is actually insane. Disney Springs is fun to walk around, though. I hope you enjoy your time. Hopefully you brought a little bit of spending money. Maybe you can find either a nice little snack or some sort of souvenir, possibly. I don't know if you guys are going to go back to Disney Springs after all your park days. If you do, then I would wait to buy things until that day. But they have like, they have just about everything at Disney Springs that they do in the park. You just gotta know where to look is the hard part of it. I know enough about you to steal your identity. Yeah, that's... I mean, truthfully, if somebody scrubbed through all of my videos, all of my VODs, you could easily peel out enough information to steal identities or to, at the very least, make a very, very convincing impersonation. Like, one day, if I start acting weird and I look a little bit off, I've probably been replaced. And I'm not, like, just saying that as, like, a haha kind of thing. But, like, if I ever actually did something to anger one of the powers that be, there's enough information that's readily available out there that somebody could study up on me and pick up all my mannerisms, all of my vocal tendencies, and my past behaviors that I've already shared with you guys. There's enough there that somebody could easily replace me. Even in the concept of AI, there's enough out there that somebody could probably make a very convincing AI chatbot and then hooked up to, I mean, my voice is readily available out there as well. It doesn't take much to steal that. I mean, we've had an experiment with that before. If I ever start acting weird, just know it's not me, okay? I would never get Botox. I'm very happy with my life right now and always. Just to cover all my bases, because we're starting to get into conspiracy theory zone there. Starblocks, welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. I played Duck Duck Goose a couple times with you, so we can officially be friends. Exactly, Nathan. You and I, we've played games before. That's all that matters. We've done the games, we've talked in VCs, and we're friends on Discord. So I think it counts. Said friend request, and Liv said be right back. I'm having a problem. I sent a photo of Gus, my girlfriend, and she said something about maternally hugging him or whatever. Thought nothing of it. Now she's on the baby kick. I'm scared. Oh boy. I'm scared for you. That would be a big step. That's something you both should discuss, though. Like, if that's something she genuinely wants, you know, discuss what that might look like at the very least. That is not helpful. No, you know, I'm not gonna make you less scared, because the reality is, women want what they want. Okay, I've learned that from a very young age. You cannot deter a strong-willed woman from whatever she may want. So it's best to set the terms and you know, figure out what that would look like if it is something that you both want. If it's not something you both want, then, you know, that conversation is also important. Most people use the emotional support concept just to bring pets places and claim that they get away with stuff. Yep, exactly. Exactly. Hello, Falcon. Unfortunately, you cannot play because this is a single-player world. Sometimes I do have a viewer-joinable server available, but not recently. If you want to play with some cool content creators, I can recommend two great creators, Kitrix Live and King Alfie. They both play on their viewer-joinable servers on a decent amount of occasions. Check them out on Google, Google them. Their pages will come up and you can find their servers from there. Hello, Owl. Welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. Hello, hello. Thank you for submitting your taxes. We have, and we both said right now, no. Later, probably. That's a fair conclusion. You guys are both, I'm assuming you're both young. I know you're young, Spicy. I'm going to assume she is too. Do you know Wimbu and Flame Frags? I know of them. I don't know them personally, but I've heard of them. Alfie is mid at best. You're not wrong. You're not wrong, Pinked. Pink saying Kit is online is funny. She was like idle for a couple of seconds today. That's like a new record. Honestly, for this week, that is a little bit more than it has been. School and work have been kicking her butt. And, you know, I can't blame her. I'm not even in school right now. I'm not doing other people's work. Really, I'm my own boss right now. And I'm struggling to get stuff done. There have been days where I've considered just uninstalling Discord for a couple of days just to try to focus. Not that that would help me. It wouldn't. The mind wants what it wants, and what it wants is to do anything except what I actually want to do. I need to go. I'm sorry, this is like random, sort of, kind of. I need to talk to my doctor again, because they're still not getting through the medical process. And like, I know this is like an ongoing topic with us, and it's probably like annoyingly common. But like, I don't know how hard it is for a hospital system to get a fax. But they genuinely keep telling me that I'm not in the system. And it is, oh my goodness. I'm going to commit a very, very awful crime if they don't allow me to get my appointments. I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted, but it was just talking about the fact that the focus problems. I brought that up with my doctor. I was like, you know, I haven't heard anything back on that appointment for that. And I don't know if I ever will. What if you sold your house for a couple of days to focus? You know, that's a good idea. Just like go out and do stuff in the middle of the forest. I could do some work out there. What's plans for Minecraft live stream Saturday? You doing one again? I am planning to stream on Minecraft Live, yeah. Oh, that's what I forgot to do. I need to text a guy. He's in charge of a thing that I'm supposed to be at on Saturday. I forgot that I already committed to doing Minecraft Live, though. So I need to tell him that I'm not going to be there on Saturday. So that he's not expecting me. And then Saturday will be fine. And then... Hello, Clock. Welcome on in. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate you, dude. What's up, man? I told you about my hardcore world. Guess how I'm going? I don't know, Lightning. How are you doing on there? It's good to see you again, by the way. Have you reached day 1,000 yet, by chance? Multi-shot. That's a decent enough book. But... yeah, Minecraft Live, I'm planning on doing a stream for that. I'm gonna delay the Forever World video, probably. It just kind of depends on how... on how the Minecraft Live stuff goes. Hello there. If the Minecraft Live content starts picking up, then I don't want to post another video, because for whatever reason, this has been an ongoing problem. If I upload a video right after one of my videos goes out, it usually tanks the first video. And I'm intending to basically do the live stream. It's gonna be Twitch only. Whoa. That is a cool book. For the short form viewers, that's the book right there. Got a bunch of 3s. What was I saying? Minecraft Live, right. So I'm gonna do the stream. It'll be Twitch only, because YouTube is kind of weird about the reaction streams, I find, so I try not to do them, really. Then immediately after that, I will record and try to do several quick videos about the Minecraft Live features. And those will be posted pretty much instantaneously as they're ready. And there will be probably some shorts throughout the day as well. It'll be a good time. I've already seen some of the teasers. It looks like there's going to be some fun things this Minecraft Live. I don't know if it's going to be a good announcement or if it'll just be kind of mid. That's not for me to decide, really. Not yet. What I can say is it's always a good time, though. At least in my opinion, it is. How do I live stream? That is a good question, Clock. So on YouTube, there are a few different ways you can live stream. You can either live stream through your browser or your phone. It has a couple of different options there, or you can do it through a software. I'm doing it through a software right now called OBS, called Open Broadcasting Software. There's another version of it called Streamlabs OBS. You can also use that one. I personally recommend just plain OBS if you have the willpower to set it up. But if you're just trying to do a couple of streams to see if you like it, use Streamlabs. It's pretty quick and easy. Good job, I reminded you. Yeah, I would have forgotten otherwise. Right, that sounds quite important. It's probably important. Super good. Got 6 Elytra this, and is building a medieval mansion. Nice. That's awesome, dude. I hope that turns out well. Hello, Golden Hoodie. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing well. I have a phone. I see. Okay. I'm not super familiar with live streaming off of a phone. Every app has their own method. Like, I know Twitch has its own as well, so if you're streaming off of Twitch, then, I would encourage you to Google it, probably, to be entirely honest. I'm not using my phone right now, but, there's some good screen capture softwares out there that allow you to stream off of that. I'm subscribed to you. Hey, I appreciate that, Golden Hoodie. Thank you very much. What time is Minecraft Live again? 1 EST, 1800 your time. What Nathan said. I could not remember time zones. I'm sorry. Thanks. No problem, Clock. No problem. How many subs you got, man? 1,650, I think. Hang on. I'll tell you. I have 1,646. That's how much I have. Grandpa, welcome on in. Your name is amazing. Helloing, how do? I am doing great. How are you doing, Grandpa? Welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. Nothing, okay. Yeah, 69, nice. It's easier, thank you, Nathan. 1,700 for SDKW. It's not at a terrible time, at least. That's gonna be an earlier stream than what we're used to. I gotta just make sure I wake up in time. Saturdays are a struggle. It's hard to get 1,000. It is. It is. It took me the longest time to get 1,000 subscribers, and then, you know, at some point in time, it just sort of clicked, you know? Videos that I had made in the past were picking up traction because the videos that I was making now were doing well. You know, even if your content is good, it doesn't always mean you're going to be successful. But if you make a lot of good content, it increases your chances of success by tenfold. You know, for example, Mr. Beast, you know, he made a ton of videos. A lot of them were actually really bad videos, in all honesty. Like, to be 100% honest. But he's now the biggest YouTuber. Like, if you put that into perspective, all you need is a camera and a personality. And the personality is negotiable. I mean, you know, if you have an idea, just create it and make it the best you can. And after that, you know, reiterate, figure out what worked and what didn't, and then make something again. Again, following the Mr. Beast example, he made like how much insert YouTuber here makes, and he did that for PewDiePie like 3 times. He did that for several YouTubers throughout his career at the beginning of it, back when he was just Minecraft and Call of Duty gameplay. And you know, I'm using Mr. Beast as an example because he's the largest YouTuber right now, and I know enough about him. Not necessarily because he is a good example of what you should do now. You don't have a ton of money, so you can't just like go, okay, I'll copy Mr. Beast. But you can look at his methodology from the beginning and see how he got to where he is now. You know, he just did weird stuff in the beginning, you know? You know, some of his first stuff was like cutting a table in half with plastic knives or whatever, or cutting a plastic table in half with a knife. I can't remember. He counted to 100,000. He said a word a bunch of times. He, you know, he did a bunch of that weird stuff for a long time. He microwaved microwaves. He did anything and everything he could to just try to be seen. But what arguably made him popular was the money. When he got, you know, every bit of money that he got into YouTube, he reinvested. And so one of his popular videos that I remember was like the first video I watched from him was giving away money to the homeless guy. I think it was $10,000 or something like that. It's a really, really popular video of his, and it's back when he was really just a kid, in all honesty. You know, that's something that wasn't being done, and he started doing a lot more with money, and that's how he got to where he is today. It's, you know, he became the money YouTuber. But it started, honestly, the only way he even got to the point where he could give money to homeless people was he, you know, he had an idea that brought some attention to him. So, you know, it all depends on your strategy and what you're actually wanting to do, and how long you're willing to actually put time into it. You know, as much as we all probably love the idea of being our own boss and doing whatever we want whenever we want to do it, whatever we want whenever we want to do it. You know, there's nothing wrong with doing that, but how much work are you really willing to put into that? That's the question you've got to answer for yourself, and it's the it's really, I'm trying to think. I got a lot of dark oak, guys. Trying to remember how a barrel is made. I think it's like this. Hang on. Boop. Yeah, there we go. Can I guess I'll just put that down there. Hello, William. Welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. Mr. Beast is odd. I don't like him. That's fair. He's not everybody's cup of tea. I like his videos occasionally, but he's not somebody that I, like, actively seek out. And I don't despise him as a person. I think he does a lot of good for people, but I also think a lot of his videos are overplayed to an extent. There's nothing wrong with enjoying his content. I just want to preface that, because I'm gonna start dogging it a little bit. I feel like a lot of his videos are they're set up in such a way that a lot of the good guys will never win. Um, you know, because his whole theory is bigger and better. So how can you take the last idea that performed well and make it even better and bigger and more people will watch it? Which is a great philosophy, except the problem is the world drives on negativity to a certain extent. And so, when you look at a lot of his videos, a lot of them are like hundreds of people competing. Well, when you're in a social game where like suddenly this person can get you out, if you're a really good person and everybody loves you and you've got a really good shot at winning, the guy that is trying to that not everybody else really likes for whatever reason, they're going to try to get out the guy that everybody does like. And you know, that just means that good people very rarely will actually end up winning. Now there are some cases where that is not the case. There's plenty of cases where that's not the case. But the smaller scale videos, I think, do a lot better of a job of making it so that you can empathize with people better. For example, the weight loss video, one of the best videos on YouTube, I think, ever. Now, admittedly, the circumstances for that video were very, very unique and are not replicatable to like any degree. But everybody that I've met that has watched that video is like, that wasn't a social experiment. It was really seeing somebody else's life and seeing the human spirit and how the lengths that it'll go to in order to achieve a goal. And I think that's really cool to see those sorts of videos. No worries, Clock. Enjoy your food. Appreciate you popping in, dude. I think, Admiral, thank you for submitting your taxes. I appreciate it. I think, you know, even some larger scale videos were okay. Like the ages 1 to 100 race or whatever, I think it was. But you had ages, one person from each age, all the way up to 100 essentially. And it was a pretty good video because I didn't feel like there was any outright villains, except for the fact that anyone who got out, the elderly or the children, were probably going to be antagonized, just because how dare you not go easy on them. But also at the same time, it's kind of like that's the game. But it showcased a lot of people who were it set up a lot of scenarios that allowed people to showcase that there are good people out there. You know, I think that's one of the unique things about it. I wouldn't necessarily say Mr. Beast is like a role model, though. I should also clarify that. He is a workaholic. That's not exactly somebody you'd want to model your life after. In the sense of, like, you know, he was... I don't want to insult the man. Alright, let me think about the right way to phrase this. Because I respect him for what he has built and what he has achieved, but also what he did was incredibly stupid. And I'm gonna say it, and it's gonna sound incredibly stupid coming from me, because you could see the similarities to a certain extent. But this guy, you know, dropped out of college, pursued a really, at that time period, it was near impossible dream. And I don't want to say he got lucky, because luck implies that there's very little skill involved. You know, he had the skill. Are we done flashing? Can we stop flashing, please? Okay. Whatever. Anyway, you know, he did have unique ideas, and you know, admittedly he tried a lot of things. He threw a lot of things at a wall and figured out what stuck. He got out of niches that didn't work and stayed in the ones that did, and he moved on when he needed to move on, until he eventually started setting new trends himself. The thing is, though, like, it was so irresponsible to do that, because as somebody who is currently living something similar to that, not necessarily even out of choice, but sort of necessity. I don't want to like say outright necessity. Like, I could end up going to McDonald's and getting a job, more than likely. But you know, I am not enrolled in school. You know, I'm doing this like a job because that's all I've got. Because the market isn't in my favor for whatever reason. You know, we could blame me not being in school and having a degree of any sort, or we could blame the fact that I've not applied to minimum wage jobs. You know, we could go down the list, but at the end of the day, the fact of the matter is I'm jobless and undereducated, for a lack of a better word. I think undereducated isn't the right word to describe it, because life is a constant learning experience. So I wouldn't want to ever say that somebody who hasn't gone to college is undereducated, but in a certain worldview, people view college and university and you know, anything post high school as education. And if you're not going to there, then therefore you chose to enter the workforce, and you're gonna get you know, probably a blue collar job of some sort. You know, being in that state, I can also understand why he did what he did. You know, if you truly cannot stand school, which I understand. I don't like school. And you really can't foresee yourself enjoying anything else, then you should throw yourself at it as hard as you can. And he'll even admit to you now that what he did back then was incredibly stupid, and you shouldn't just quit everything and go do YouTube. You should try to do whatever it is you love, but you shouldn't throw everything out the window and try, because that's how you end up getting stuck in life, and then you're trying to make up time, and you're trying to figure out how in the world to pay bills. The goal of being self-employed is, a lot of people think of it as a way to reduce your stress, but the truth of the matter is you don't ever actually reduce your stress doing that. And I don't know where that idea comes from, but it's been in my head too. It's kind of like the idea of doing work for yourself, nobody telling you you have to do this or that or whatever, you know. That's popped into my head, and it's like a great idea, but it's not practical. Like, genuinely speaking, it is not a stress-free life. You know, you're always trying to crunch and make deadlines, trying to figure out how in the world to not make a bad video, or making sure you don't say the wrong thing in the wrong group at the wrong time. You know, at any given moment, it could be decided that that Minecraft is because it was made by Notch all those years ago, and Notch has said insert terrible thing here, which he has said a lot of things. You know, Minecraft is no longer socially acceptable to play. Now, do I think that would happen? Probably not. We've already passed all of that, and I think it's okay. But there are multiple other IPs that have been in a similar boat, and they have walked out. Very much, people have walked out against it. I don't think that would ever happen in Minecraft, but let's say it did, you know. Well, I'm screwed. Like, just simply put, even if I had, you know, millions of people watching every single piece of content that I put out, unless I've saved up so much money and I've invested it all properly that I don't have to work another day in my life, I'm screwed. Just simply put. You know, as much as I would love for me to say I could uphold the entire Minecraft community and prevent it from sinking, if people decided that it wasn't acceptable to play Minecraft anymore, I would not be able to pivot into something else necessarily. There's not anything I'm super passionate about that I would be able to make content about. You know, I could start doing stuff with Omnia more, but I enjoy Minecraft so much, and that's where I really pour a lot of my time into. Now, if I swapped around and said, okay, Minecraft is my hobby and Omnia is my content, that would be a little bit different. We'd be spending a lot more time on game dev, and we'd be making a lot more progress on game dev, and this would be a passion project rather. I don't know how that would work though. You know, that's kind of the problem you run into with niching down. It's great if you can do it, but it does kind of lock you into a space where you have to be careful. Minecraft is one of those safe niches, I think, where that's weird. Wow. Minecraft is a safe niche where you don't have to worry about it going anywhere necessarily. Like, it'll ebb and flow. You know, there's gonna be days where people are watching Minecraft and the community is on fire for the game and it's peak popularity. But there's also gonna be plenty of days and plenty of years even where you're in a slump and nobody cares about Minecraft. Like right now, for example, Minecraft isn't at its peak, but it's not in its lowest slump either. It's been lower, but it's definitely at a floor that it is struggling to get back above. Hype for the game just isn't there right now, and that's okay. But it does mean you need to be a little bit more creative in the space, and you need to decide what your acceptable metrics are and how far you're willing to go in order to achieve those things. You know, if I really wanted to get popular off of Minecraft, doing Forever World content probably isn't the play. You know, there's a lot better ways to do it. I would do videos that other people have done, but I would do it in my own style. Things that have, you know, notoriously done well. I would probably do a lot more tutorials just to kind of get a couple of extra views a day. You know, a lot of my views actually come from old tutorials that I made several years ago, like how to find and loot a trail rune. That video pulls probably about 200 views a week, which is wild to me. First, just want to say that. But you know, you could do. I know back in the day, all the rage was top 5 lists. You know, top 5 farms, top 5 mega builds, top 5 this and top 5 that. You know, maybe not bring back that format, but what could you do that would be so clickable that people have to know in order to, people want to know. You gotta make people curious, you know? That's ultimately the appeal behind a lot of videos. Going back to Mr. Beast as an example, the $0 versus $1 million, that thing, that trend that he set, it's all driven based off of curiosity. Well, what does a $0 meal look like? Well, what does a $1 million meal look like? Taking that into Minecraft terms, you know, $0 builder versus $100,000 builder. I think somebody's done that, paying a Fiverr Minecraft builder to build stuff for them. It is a thing you can, and oftentimes a lot of people try to do. And, you know, it can pull some views. It's got a wider, broader appeal than just somebody playing the game. Because the truth of the matter is, if you want to get famous and you want to get popular, you just got to do things that nobody else is doing because it's too hard. You know? Anybody can technically do a forever world. The advantage of a forever world that you have is it's a constant series running on your channel. And the advantage of a forever world is that yes, anybody can do it, but you're the only one that can do it your way. I will always be doing the forever world, regardless of the views it pulls. It's just something I really like to do. But you know, at some point in time, once this is all said and done, and we're you know, not done with the Forever World, but I've finally caught up to a point with Forever World videos that I can start doing other things. You're gonna start seeing some of those other videos that are either things that only I could do, or that are more tutorial based, or things that are just very experimental. Because the fact of the matter is, right now, you know, I'm jobless. And I gotta find a secondary video that pays the bills so I can do the videos that I actually enjoy making. That's just the reality that most people on YouTube, I think, probably face. Even Mr. Beast does. You know, he's gone on the record saying the videos he enjoys most are the ones where he helps people. So recently, building schools, or before that, I think he did one where he helped people walk. He did one where he helped people see and helped people hear. You know, those are the videos that he finds the most enjoyable to make, because there's an actual visible impact. But, you know, they may not necessarily pull the views. So the ones that do pull the views, he does make as a supplementary thing to his philanthropy side. You'll see that with within the Minecraft space as well. I'm trying to think of some YouTubers who you guys would know. Hello Rift, welcome on in. Jams, thank you for spending your taxes, and I hope you are having a good week. Frog, thank you for spending your taxes as well. Hello, hi. I mean, you could look at the Hermits, for example, all the Hermitcraft members. I mean, Hermitcraft is one of those things, I think, if they are full-time as a content creator, Hermitcraft alone probably sustains them. Because it is such a big thing. But a lot of them do secondary things as well. A lot of them have Twitch channels. And, you know, for example, Grian, I watch him, Impulse, Jim. A lot of them, they'll play a game on Twitch, just a random game. You know, it's not gonna bring in any, like, new viewers for them. Also, I am lagging, oh my goodness. Can we stop doing that, please? perhaps? Hang on. Extreme health. It says it's healthy. I don't think so. Check Twitch's thing. Oh, 7 unstable events in 2.8 minutes. Thanks. That's great. Lovely. Alright. Have you watched any of the Gigs D&D stuff? I haven't, but I've seen when they've been live, and I've always wanted to pop in, but I didn't know if I'd like hop in and not understand what's going on, because I've never actually played D&D myself. I understand it to a certain degree, but I don't know if I'd understand it enough that when I watch somebody else play, if it would make sense to me. But I have seen, like, when they're live, and I've really considered clicking in, especially, like, on a Scar stream or something like that. Good times with Scar. He's one of my favorite guys. So fun to watch him. My bitrate is crashing so hard, guys. I'm sorry. I think we're not, like, going down, but we are dropping frames occasionally. Okay, well, but for example, the D&D stuff, they're not necessarily making, you know, I mean, they probably actually, quite honestly, if they did a D&D podcast, it would probably bring in a good amount of money, to be honest. But that's not their primary content. It's more so just they wanted to do it, and so therefore they did. And I think a lot of content creators, you'll see that where there's like their secondary, their main stuff that they do to, you know, pull the views, pull the income, and be known, what they're known for. But then they have that side project that they secretly love more, probably, or that they at least like a lot, and they wish they could do more of, but it doesn't necessarily pay the bills. Then that was all of that. That was being said. That all stemmed off of something. I don't even know what. Pretty easy to hop in without knowledge. Was just watching his stream earlier. Okay, I'll have to check him out sometime then. Maybe next time they're live. It'll be fun. Also, my bitrate is staying down. It's fine. I brought up a bad example. I was just curious. No, that was actually perfectly fine. I didn't even think about the D&D stuff. I know they play other games like Phasmophobia, and they've been playing a couple of other games that have been called Friend Slop, which is just games that are considered low quality but are made to be played with friends. So things like Heat, Repo, Lethal Company, RV There Yet, those are considered like friend slop games. There was one that was kind of about like there was this wizard game. I can't remember what that was called, but they were playing that one day, and I watched Grian play for probably about an hour, to be entirely honest. It was that was a fun time. But the D&D is a really good example, actually, of something. I don't know how it would go. That's the thing. I think the Hermit's playing D&D has an appeal to it for short term. I don't know how many people would actually stick with it, is the thing, if they did it as a, you know, a multi-part series where they were doing many different seasons. You know, I don't know if they can make it like Critical Role does, for example. Although Critical Role is made up of a bunch of voice actors who are already well known and make their money in other ways. I don't know their personal finance situations, but I imagine they don't need Critical Role. They just do it out of the love of the game. We are crashing so hard, guys. Is it unbearable to watch? Like, if stream is actually, like, bad, let me know. If it's fine, you can tell me that, too. It won't hurt my feelings either way. I just need to know if this is something I need to stop and actually try to fix, or if I should just let it ride out. I need to ship some water. It is so wacky. What is going on? It goes up and then it goes back down and then it goes up and back down. Let me run a speed test really quick and see if that's what's causing it or if it's something else. I've got 300 download. Over 300 download. And I've got 10 up. A little bit more than 10 up. Okay. What in the world is going on? That was steady. It was actually steady. Okay. That tells me something is going on somewhere else. So let me check Steam and make sure that that's not downloading anything, and it's not. Okay. Let me make sure they're closed in the background so it's not eating up anything. Apps. Okay. I need Epic Games to be closed. End task. I need Steam to be closed. End task. Okay. I mean, if it's not networked, then it would be GPU, but it's claiming it's networked. That's what's confusing. If it was GPU issues, then it would be dropping FPS to drop frame. But it's Gonna change locations before I fall asleep. Hang in there, Reg. Alright, sounds good, Nikita. Okay. Huh. What about... Yeah. Alright, refresh that. How far behind? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's about 10 seconds behind. Okay. And it doesn't seem to be, like, bad on Twitch side. That's the weird thing. It might just be getting a little goofy on OBS, and we just need to be okay with that. I mean, I'm not seeing it buffer. That doesn't mean it's not buffering, though. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with it for now. If it is, like, bad, again, guys, just tell me. It's not gonna hurt my feelings. I would just rather do something that's actually productive with time than try to make a stream work that's not wanting to cooperate. King, I did it. The cinema reached out, and I have an interview tomorrow. Hey, Snacks, that's awesome. I hope that works out for you. It sounds like if they were open to an interview, then they're not completely closed off to, they're not sold on somebody yet. That's good. Your foot is in the door. Let us know how that goes. I know you were looking forward to that one as a possibility, at least. So, I'm excited for you. That's awesome. I don't know what the world is doing. That's the weird thing here. Did we run out of fish already? Hey, Alantley, welcome on in. Thank you for submitting your taxes. I'll keep you updated. Thank you. We're not out of fish, but we're out of mending. So, I need to get a couple more books, and I figured today would be a good day to fish for a little bit. There are a couple of other side quests that we might do if the internet is cooperating. The question is the internet cooperating? And we don't know yet. Boop, boop. And, oh, yeah, you. Yeah, I'll show you guys what else we might be doing today. So we may go out and farm some bees, which is, like, way out that way somewhere. But there's also some stuff that needs done down here, like, all of this. And technically I said it would be done in the episode that I just finished recording yesterday, and that I've been editing today. And it's not actually in the video, so I'm kind of thinking of maybe possibly just quickly doing a time-lapse of that. It would take me, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes to probably longer than that. It'll probably take me more like 30 minutes to do all of this. It wouldn't take long, though. And, I'm considering it. I am considering doing it, because it would be good. But all my focus was done, or all my focus was on this thing up here, which looks ever so slightly off. Hang on. What did I do? That's 2. That's 3. Something is off. Okay, I'll fix that later. I'll re-examine it all. Well, that's something that took up so much time that I forgot to do so many other things. Like, right now, it's looking like it might be a 40-minute video. Which, regrettably, well, I don't mind it being a 40-minute video, but I do regret it because I usually do half of that. You caught that so quickly. Dude, I am so critical of my work. If it comes out looking a little weird, you better believe I know. I know it's off, and I'm gonna fix it. I'm sure it was even. I think I can tell you exactly what's wrong with it. Hang on. Oh. Hang on. Turn off shaders so it doesn't look super wacky. So, yeah, that right there, I think it's supposed to have a line across the 3rd block there. Yup. And then, is there anything else that's off? I don't think so. No. I also know over here that that platform needs extended. I didn't realize that until I started building, and I was like, this side's way too small, and so then I extended it out a little bit. Yeah, this is a big build. I can't wait to do more of it, though. It's so exciting. Also, Voxy is being a little silly right now. Let's go ahead and turn back on shaders and pretend this didn't happen. There we go. I'm back. Hi, King. Guess who's back? Welcome back, Clock. Hello, hello. How are you doing? Voxy doing Voxy things. Yup. A lot of that just has to do with, well, it's not made for free cam yet. Eventually free cam will be more supported and it'll be fine. But it's only meant to view... It only renders everything from one perspective. So... that perspective is based around the player. And, you know, your LODs are just not set up for free cam. Eventually that'll be added, I'm assuming. Just like shader support is actually added in a lot of shader packs. I'm still waiting for it in my shader pack. Eventually they say they will have it, but you know, it's one of those things. I think it's taking a back seat because of the Vulkan updates. I imagine that's gonna break a lot of stuff. It may even break Voxy. I don't know. But there may not be a need for Voxy later on. You know, with Vulkan, Minecraft may just add a larger render distance by default. And you may not need Voxy. Boop. Doing great. Glad to hear it. Greg, I might be a broken record once again, but did you get a chance to see the stuff? I did not. No. I need to watch that or listen to it. I might be able to have time tonight. We'll see. I've been really busy with a video. I'm trying to shorten it down so that it's not 40 minutes. But I'm taking my sweet time on it, let me tell you guys. And then I've got some other side projects that I need to get done, but I'm trying. I am trying. I'm also just distracted. I'll be the first to admit it. If I would just lock in and focus, I could probably get a lot more done. But I'm really bad about getting distracted. Like, the second I see somebody typing in my DMs, I go, oh, somebody's typing. I wonder what they're talking about. And then I will pause everything that I am doing right then and there to just stare and see when their message pops up. And I may not even respond right away. I may not respond at all. But I just want to know what they were trying to tell me. I do that a lot. Sometimes I'll open up YouTube for something because I need to research a video. And then I end up scrolling endlessly. There's plenty of times I get distracted in the middle of working on a video. Like, for example, a couple of days ago, I was recording for the next video that's coming out here. For the Forever World. It should be coming out Sunday, maybe. It may come out, like, sometime next week, though. It just kind of depends on Minecraft Live and how that stuff goes. But I got distracted several times in the middle of recording that thing. Like, it was about trying to get all the blocks up there to be the proper shades and setting up the right shapes. You know how many times I got distracted, though? I mean, for crying out loud. Turn off shaders again. There's a spot. Where is that? See that area over there? I cleared out, like, I don't know, maybe 40 trees or something like that. And then I decided to sit there and AFK bees for like 40 minutes. That's just something I did randomly. I mean, I needed the bees, but I didn't really need them that badly. Same thing kind of over here. I got sidetracked by that little mine entrance. And I meant to do those as well, but I didn't. I got distracted. I even got distracted building this thing. I went to go get reference stuff because the question of the day, spoiler, is somebody asking about my build process. And so I went to go find some references for what that gate was going to be, or how I was going to design the gate anyway. And I ended up getting distracted in the middle of that like 3 or 4 times because, spoiler, that was all from a video game. So I was in the middle of that video game, and I got distracted like 3 times by things that I didn't know about, and I was like, huh, what's this? And then I would Google it, because I was like, what is this thing that I'm seeing in this one game? And there was like one reference image of that on the entirety of the internet, because nobody documents this game. And then I found another thing, and it was a rare collectible in the game that I just had no clue was there the entire time, because I never look up. But I did for that video, because I was trying to find pieces that I could build in Minecraft for this forge. And I got distracted so many times just exploring that. And it made me go, then this is where it got bad. I sat there for like a solid 20 minutes after recording that bit, going, I wonder if I could make a YouTube series playing this game, like just as a second channel thing. I don't need to do that to myself. I really shouldn't do that to myself. But I'm halfway considering it. So if any of you want like a bunch of Star Wars The Old Republic videos, you know, just let me know. Maybe I'll make a Star Wars channel. That could only go bad. Oh my goodness. I've purposely tried not to get back in the Star Wars fandom. But The Old Republic is just a great game in general. I love it. And I do play it in my free time anyway. But I don't have time to make videos about it. I need to like actually do what I said I was going to do with the Minecraft stuff first, and then we'll talk about a second channel. We'll see. All good, but once again, the broken record continues. Yeah, the typing bubble goes crazy. It does. It does. It's really bad too, because there are some people I know will type occasionally when they're online to me. Like more often than not, when they come online, they will type. So when I see them pop on, then I kind of examine if they're going to type to me or if they're just checking DMs, you know? Like right now, I see one of my friends is online playing a game. I know he's not going to type to me, but sometimes he does. And then I also check and see if he's in any calls that I know of. And no, he's not. Not right now. I'm a little bit of a stalker, but it's just, I can't help it. It is something that I feel like it's impulsive of me, and I don't know how to tell myself no. Yeah, it's not something I consciously think about of like, I want to see what this person is doing all the time. But by the time I realize that I'm doing it, it's well past time to stop. How many times can Reg get distracted before replacing a light bulb? I've only had to replace a light bulb a handful of times. But I do get distracted a good amount of times when that happens, because I have to tell my mom that, you know, we're out of light bulbs. We never seem to have the light bulbs that I need, or I use the last one and I need to tell her, hey, you know, we need some more on hand. And then my mom ends up sending me on a side quest because she thought of something that I could do for her. And I try to help my mom when I can. So that happens a lot. I get distracted a lot because of my brother, Admiral. He's good at distracting me, let me tell you guys. We'll be talking, and then like suddenly there's this tell that he has. He walks into my room and he has no reason to be in here. He just wants to hang out for a little bit. So we play we play this waiting game of like who's gonna ask who if we're gonna go downstairs and watch something and snack on some stuff. The answer to that is it's never an if. It's always a win. So you know, as soon as he comes in, I just usually get to the point where I'm like, is that what? If that's what you're wanting to do, let's just do that. Let's not sit in here and pretend that you're not there and you're scrolling through Instagram really loudly while I'm trying to edit. Let's just, you know, let's cut to the chase. If we're gonna get quality time, let's actually do it. So I get distracted a lot from that, but you know, it's days that you wouldn't get otherwise, you know. Yeah, I'm not getting the work done that I need to get done, but I'm at least spending it with family. So, you know, I can't complain about that too much. Where's the fun in life without some nice unnecessary distractions? That's fair. That is very fair. I can kind of agree with that. I get distracted too much. I want to get that fixed. It's not that I don't want to be distracted. I want to be distracted, but I want to be distracted and productive at the same time, I guess. I mean, for another example, I listen to music while I work. I get distracted by the songs now. Like, you know, I'm like, oh, what's that lyric to this one thing? Okay, well, then I start listening to the song a little bit more carefully, or I start singing along with it, and then I'm like, I could play that on guitar. Let me try. And then next thing you know, I'm learning a new riff or learning chords to some random song that I found just listening to Spotify, you know. Make a KingRegNog channel. I used to have a second channel. I removed everything from it, so you guys can't even find it anymore, I don't think. I do want to eventually bring back the second channel, but there's a lot of other things that are more important than that, so it's just kind of on the back burner. I intend for there to be a second channel once I do a couple of other things. Like, I promised last year that I would make a, what was it called? Archives channel, I guess is what I called it. And essentially all that is it's a, channel with all of the old deleted content. So anything that I made at one point in time that is now no longer on the main channel, no longer on the second channel, you know, that sort of stuff, or things that aren't being used anymore. So like old stream assets, for example, my old intro and outro screen, those are on there, or they will be. They're uploaded. They are uploaded. They're just not visible. You know, I need to do more with that. I've also remastered some of it because the audio is really, really bad. But once that's all set up and done, then I'll kind of look at doing more with the second channel. I would just love to do more stuff in general. I kind of miss that to some degree of doing content where you could just kind of do whatever you want. And it's not saying I can't do whatever I want. I still can. I very much still can. There is nobody stopping me. But, you know, all the projects I've taken on right now, I can't justify doing more. I'm not touching the video game that I say I'm supposed to be developing. I really should. Or at the very least, I should send an announcement to the Discord saying, hey guys, I'm delaying this one thing I told you guys about because I lied. I don't know what I'm doing. You know, that would be pretty important. But I for some reason haven't. Amy, hello, welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. And Goat, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Xaviator the Goat, welcome. How are you doing? I'm doing good. I appreciate you asking, man. We're just chilling today, fishing. I just keep dropping frames. I don't know what's wrong with me. I say it's with me. This is not a me issue right now. Can I join if joins are on later? This is not a server, but eventually I will have a server that you guys can play on, and yes, you will be able to join that. Honestly, that's kind of something I really miss. Like, I don't miss it, but I also do. I need to find somebody that's willing to manage that side of things for me. But I really do miss having a server for you guys and being able to play and just use the resources we have for other things. Like, I would love to have a server again so I could do some videos with that. I've already got so many killer ideas for the next season of King SMP, for some mini games that I want to try, for some different events that I'd like to also do. You know, I want to bring back so much, and I just can't until the server situation improves. But one day we will have a server, and things will be amazing. I can't wait for that. Work was so busy today. Oof, I'm sorry to hear that. Sometimes that's nice because sometimes it means the day was fast. But I also know that also sometimes means it was more painful than it needed to be. Or that it felt very long as well. Sometimes a busy day isn't fast. But thank you for spending your taxes. I appreciate it. It was nice, but also a little overwhelming. That's fair. That is so fair. I had a handful of those days when I was working retail. You know, there would be days where it was just boring work, nothing to do, and then there were days where all the freezers decided to turn off, and we had to try to save as many frozen and refrigerated goods as possible, which was a lot of fun for me because it meant I got away from being behind the counter. But it was also a little stressful because we didn't. Well, we just couldn't get we couldn't save everything. And I felt bad because at the time I was a minor. And I really wanted to stay and help because, one, I knew that I was going to get paid really good if I could. And, two, I felt bad because I knew my managers were going to have to stay over time in order to get it all done. And I was fast. Like, I was the fastest one there, really. Because when... This is, like, not something that's a common sentiment. And I understand it to a certain degree. Because I've said it on multiple occasions. Corporations do not care about you as a person. They just don't. The people within that corporation might. But at the end of the day, a corporation's point is to make money. I've said that on numerous occasions, and I do believe it. But at the same time, there is also the case of, you know, when you work for somebody, you should give them at least 90% if you can. Because, you know, they're paying you. You should be worth what they're paying you. And if you want to make more money, then you should work like you make more money. And if they never respect that, that's when you find another job, and your manager will probably understand, hopefully. Like, you know, no matter how hard you work at McDonald's, they can't pay you $20 an hour, even if you're working like you make $20 an hour there. Thank you for the follow, Frankie. I appreciate it. You know, I worked really, really hard when I worked at Walmart. But unfortunately, they didn't let me stay because, again, I was a minor. My state had curfew laws, which meant minors couldn't work past a certain time on any day of the week, I believe. It wasn't even just weekdays. The school district kind of dictated a lot of the working hours a minor could work, which I felt was a little ridiculous because I was homeschooled. But that's apparently commonplace in the world. I felt like it was ridiculous, though, because I could easily have worked 12-hour days and been just fine. But my state had heavy labor laws about minors. That just meant that I could not pick up as many hours and make as much money as I would have liked. Which is okay. And unfortunately, with the problem with Walmart at that time, they were only paying $11 an hour. And thank you for the hydrates. I appreciate it. How are you? I'm doing well. How are you doing? I'm doing well. We're just talking about work and busy days and all that kind of stuff. What was I saying? Right, at that time period, Walmart only paid $11 an hour. I think now they pay $14, which is a considerable amount more. But the world has changed. So I'll recognize and concede that I was probably making, at that time period, probably equivalently about the same. Because the economies were just that. But there were multiple occasions that people said, you know, like, man, they should really pay you more. You deserve a raise, and, you know, all that kind of stuff. It was painful because my managers would walk over and say, hey, we just want to let you know this customer, they said that you did a good job and that you deserve a raise. And I'm like, oh, thanks. And they're like, yeah, you know, we can't give you a raise because you have to work here for 1 year, and then you get, I think it was like a 70-cent raise or something like that for the first year. It was sad. I was so sad about that because, like, I was like, man, if I deserve a raise, I should get one. But store policy, well, corporate policy dictates that you cannot get one. I just, that hurt. that hurt. But, you know, I was a 16-year-old kid. I probably didn't really need a raise. I mean, it would have been nice, don't get me wrong. That's also just now dawning on me how long ago that was. Oh man, I am old. Boop, 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 boop. And other than it feeling I got stabbed in the eye, I'm good. Migraine. Oof, I'm sorry to hear that, dude. I'm sorry to hear that. Hopefully it passes. I know migraines are a little different for everybody, but a lot of rest seems to be the common denominator I've heard. Seems to help at least. So if you can, please do take care of yourself. I used to be a cart pusher for grocery stores. The amount of time I was hydrating, it's crazy. For some reason, that doesn't surprise me. Every cart pusher, okay, I shouldn't say everyone, because one of them was my best friend, and he did nothing. like that. But the cart pushers at my store, that was kind of the same deal. It was a wonder that they worked for as long as they did at that store, though. A lot of the cart pushers that we had, I mean, admittedly, they were teenagers, so what more do you expect? But they were, like, throwing trash at each other in the parking lots. That was... If you guys understood the things that got thrown away in the parking lots, this isn't something anybody thinks about. It's not something I thought about until... until I had to go take care of the trash out in the parking lot because they fired the cart pusher that day. There's diapers in there, okay? And you guys don't understand. In the middle of summer, it's like 100 degrees out in the Midwest, okay? That's where I worked, was in the Midwest at that time period. It was 100 degrees out there. So you've got, you know, random people's diapers that have been generously cooked in this trash can. You've got old McDonald's bags and various fruits and vegetables that got thrown away, and probably you know, those insulin pins that you're not supposed to throw away, that people throw away because for some reason they do. Those are probably in there. Out where I lived, there was a heavy drug usage problem, so there was probably a handful of things related to that. You know, there was a lot of stuff that you wouldn't want to be involved with at any point in time. And, you know, the only way you could take out the trash was putting it in a shopping cart. But they also used cheap, crappy bags. Like, these things tore all the time. So if the lot got overfilled because whoever's job was to clean it didn't do it last time, and you were there at the end of the day, it was your job to try to figure out how to clean these things out. And, I don't even want to think about the stuff I got over me that one day I did it. It was awful. It was terrible. I argued that I should have gotten hazard pay, and Karen just laughed. She was a good manager, though. Outside of that one time, I feel like she was a good manager. Because quite honestly, you know, I got paid, and I did get hazard pay technically. It wasn't for that. It was for working during COVID. I don't know why I got hazard pay for that, other than just I was considered an essential worker, and I think the government was offering bonuses for people who returned to work. I don't know that to be 100% true, but I believe that to be true. It was so long ago that I can't remember exactly. Old man Rag, I feel like it's almost the cart pusher rite of passage. Yeah. The other cart pushers were my biggest source of weed, so I basically stopped weed cold turkey when I quit. That's fair. Yeah, they do that. The cart pushers where I was, they were rough around the edges. I didn't hang out with them very much. It was kind of weird. This is probably something I should have reported. I don't... But there was some shady things going on next to my Walmart, especially with the miners. And I didn't think anything twice of it at the time, but now that I'm older, I'm kind of going, you know, I was stupid. I should have probably realized that there was probably more there than what I thought. But my managers knew about it too, is the other thing. Like, you know, they'd go out for their smoke breaks. I will never forget. Okay, there was one time. My manager, I walked out there, 2 of my managers were out, and they were asking me what I was up to. I'm like, oh, I just clocked out, I'm done. And they're like, oh, well, you know, we're just out here, you know, smoking, you know, you want to stick around? I'm like, I'm a minor. I can't. And they're like, oh, right, yeah, you can't smoke, right? Like, you know, I appreciate the thought of, like, inviting me, but, like, yeah, no, I'm sorry, guys, I can't stick around. I mean, I could stay, but there was no point in me staying. I didn't really want to talk. They were just trying to include me. But they forgot I was a minor a lot. The amount of times they're like, why'd you call me over? I'm like, I can't sell this guy alcohol. I'm sorry. I wouldn't call you here unless it was important. Like, oh yeah, you can't do that. The laws around that are so silly, by the way. As a minor, I wasn't even allowed to touch alcohol while working there. And so there was this one case where somebody had bought a bottle of I can't remember if it was vodka or wine. I can't remember which one it was. But they had bought some sort of alcoholic beverage, and it was one of the big glass bottles. And it hit the plexiglass shield that we had in front of our registers at the time, and it started to tip over. But my what do you call it? I want to call it a treadmill. That's not what it is. Conveyor. My conveyor belt. It would not stop. And unfortunately, the switch that you flip in order to stop it and start it, it was covered up by a whole bunch of other stuff. That quite honestly really shouldn't have been on the belt, like kitty litter, for example. Kitty litter, toilet paper, bulky items that I could shoot with the gun. So it tipped, and I was getting ready to grab it, and then I heard from behind me Karen say, you can't touch that. And I'm like, I don't know what you want me to do. So it tipped and fell and broke. And my manager had to clean it up because I couldn't even touch it. I wasn't allowed to clean it. I wasn't allowed to handle anything to do with it. So I wasn't even allowed to use the spill powder on it. We weren't, like, super by the books there. There was a handful of things that I did that probably shouldn't have been allowed. Like, I was not allowed to... I wasn't a part of the team that did anything for shelving. And there were numerous occasions where I was asked to help with that, which was fine. But there was one occasion in specific where I had to climb a ladder, which went up basically to the top of the back area. And, you know, that's like a good 15, maybe 20 feet up in the air. And I carried a ladder. Or I carried the ladder from one point of the store to that side. Climbed all the way up it. Grabbed a shelf from the top of it. And then carried it back down the ladder with me. You're supposed to have, like, what, 3 points of contact at all times on a ladder? I had 2. I walked up it. I climbed up it, and then I walked down it just with my legs. I didn't touch it with my hands because I was holding a shelf. It was a time. I also worked in the back. I worked at the deli once. I was not supposed to be back there, but we found a loophole in that one. It was because you're not allowed to operate sharp and hot machinery as a miner at Walmart. So I wasn't allowed to work the fabric station, for example. I wasn't allowed to cut with the scissors. So in the deli, you're not allowed to use a knife. So what we ended up doing was I ended up rolling the sandwiches, and then this other guy ended up cutting them for because they were shorthanded in the deli for whatever reason. It was a fun time though. Amy, welcome on in. How was your stream? Hello Raiders. How are you doing? And did you hit your follower goal, by the way? I know you were getting close to it. It was 1.6K, right? Did you end up hitting that? Welcome on in, everybody. If you guys haven't already, be sure to follow Amy. They are a fantastic streamer. They were actually on the Twitch SMP at the same time as I was. So if any of you remember that time period, go check them out sometime. Can you stop hitting me, sir? Thank you. There we go. Yes, 1.6K. Hey, that's awesome. Well, congrats. That's awesome. Silly Bat, hello. Welcome. What were you guys up to today? I don't know if I saw that notification come across. We're just playing my Minecraft Forever world today. We are fishing, trying to get mending. And if I have some time afterwards, but the internet is kind of being meanie, we may possibly build a little bit of a wall right there underneath the stone brick platform, but it just kind of depends on some stuff. Did some MCCI again? Hopefully it was the last stream without the 1.6K redesign. Hey, you're doing a redesign. You know what? I saw something about that on Twitter, I think. Cat, like, redesign, right? Cat girl redesign sort of thing. Possibly. I don't get on Twitter very often, and when I do, it's very brief. So if I recall that, then that's an amazing feat in of itself. Yes, the goal for 1.6K was a cat girl. Let's see. Okay, awesome. Well, hopefully that comes in, and I'll have to pop in your stream and see it sometime. I'm just waiting on one more bit of art for it. Hey, well then it will probably be there then. That is awesome. That is awesome. I think follower goals are so fun, especially like redesigns and artwork and all that. I think that's so fun. I never actually do it myself. You know, there's supposed to be a 12-hour stream. We ignore that. That's supposed to happen. It won't. It's like a meme at this point. We'll have 10,000 followers at some point, and it'll still say 1.5K 12-hour stream. I don't think we're ever gonna change it at this point. But I always think they're so fun, and I need to get into doing follower goals more often, I think, as well. It's something I've always enjoyed about other people's streams. Also, if anyone needs to pop out, raid and run, do the post-stream things, please feel free to do so. Take care of yourselves. And, there was something I was going to add to that. And I forgot what it was. So I'm going to shut up now. To be fair, 12-hour, 24-hour longer streams do take a bit of planning. That is true. They do take some planning. I always struggle with the timing. That's the hard part. I want to do it on like a day where school is out, but also maybe when work is off, more likely. And I always struggle with that because when that does happen, it's also the week that my energy just dips, and I'm like, yeah, I can't do that today. But it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Maybe we'll plan it for this summer. At that point, it'll be almost a year that we've been putting it off. I think October was when we hit the goal. So it's just around the corner. I know it is. I mean, I know it's March. so we've still got a little bit of time, but blink and you miss it. Oh, man. Time is a funny thing. Hey, welcome on in, Raiders. Lady E. What were you guys up to today? Welcome, Raiders. If you guys haven't already, be sure to follow Lady E. They are another fantastic streamer, just like Amy. They are a frequent supporter of the channel. We see Lady E pretty often. I know recently you've been playing Shadow of Mordor, Shadow of War, and there's another game you were playing. And I'm trying to remember, Jedi Fallen Order. Okay, gotcha. That was the one I was thinking of. How is it? I've never actually played all the way through Jedi Fallen Order. Would you recommend it? I guess since you're playing it again, I would assume it's got to be at least halfway decent. But I'm glad to hear stream is good. We're just hanging out on my Minecraft Forever world today, the world that never stops. And we are fishing right now, trying to get a mending book. But we may also swap gears at some point and try to finish up this little wall out here, because right now a floating platform, it just doesn't look. We'll see if we get around to it or not. I got bored with Mordor. That's fair. It's a lot of wash, rinse, repeat. The story is really good, but man, is it a drag if you... It's orc Pokemon. That's the thing. And it's enjoyable for maybe a few hours of that, but I found once you've done it a couple of times, it's kind of like, okay, how many more times can I do it? I might end up trying to do it again at some point, but we'll see. We're prepping for the third game that is coming out either end of this year or sometime next year. Okay, I see. I didn't know they were coming out with a third. I kind of heard some rumors that it was a trilogy, but I didn't know that it was a trilogy. That's awesome. I need to get around to playing the games. I have both of them, but I have not played both of them. I played through the first one for about 3 hours, and then I just never picked it up again. So I need to try. Start over. I'm really excited for Star Wars games in general, though. I've been playing through Star Wars The Old Republic. It's one of my favorite games of all time. But they're coming out with a new game called Star Wars Fate of the Old Republic. And I'm really excited for that one. There's also still in development, probably, Star Wars Eclipse. I'm really excited for that one. It's by Quantic Dream, the makers of Detroit Become Human. And I really want to see where that one goes. We're also looking for the sequel to Kenna, which will be coming out this year. You should totally check it out. Let me add that to the list. That way, I don't forget about it. Kenna Bridge of Spirits. Gotcha. I remember seeing this game. When did it come out? 2021. Okay. Gotcha. I remember seeing it when it released, but I never actually played. Okay. It's pulled up on a tab now, so I'll check it out sometime. I wanna play a lot more games. We may possibly, if I can start finding more time in the schedule, I wanna maybe start a second channel and do some games so that you guys can watch me play that other stuff. Because I do a lot of games in my free time, but I don't actually stream them. And I would kind of like to do it again. It's been forever, but we used to play Stardew Valley, and we played all the Spider-Man games, and I still play other games off stream. I just don't. I don't talk about it really. And I saw that one, but I never actually played it. So it's pulled up on a tab right now. So I'll look into it some more and see if it's something I want to play. Kenna is good, but if you like a challenge, play not on story mode. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. That is fair. I remember I was playing through the Halo games at one point. I still never finished that. I need to do that. But I was playing through them at one point, and I played on the hardest mode thinking it wouldn't be that hard, and oh my goodness, terrible. I think I ended up swapping down to story mode just because it was that hard. And story mode was fine. That was easy. But I usually, if I stream, I just do story mode and enjoy the gameplay mechanics. I very much enjoyed it. The story is amazing. Graphics are beautiful. It looks amazing. Definitely on my to-do list to check out now. That's actually my to-do list nowadays, I find, is more effectively just all my Google tabs that are open, and whenever I start to get overwhelmed, I need to start closing them. I look through things to see which thing is important, and I do it. I don't know why that is, but that seems to work for me. Also, Lady E, if you need to raid and run, do any of the post-stream things, please take care of yourself. Do what you gotta do. We'll be here for a little bit, so... you know, as always, I just try to make sure you guys are well aware. Take care of yourselves. It's easy to forget to do. Time is it anyway? 9:30. Okay. 9. Gotcha. Oh. Guys, I'm still seeing the bitrate drop. Are we good? I don't know if we're lagging. I hope we're not. Okay. Here's a new topic. I haven't talked about this in a while. So my mom, she has had like a number of surgeries lately. You know, I think I told you guys about her shoulder. But a couple days ago, she had a knee surgery. And it's interesting how quickly that like heals. You wouldn't expect a knee to be healed that quickly. Well, and like I say healed, it's not like she's in one piece fully yet. But you know, she's up and walking. And I mean, you know, she's walking assisted, but I don't think we ever really acknowledged just how amazing the human body is. How it can survive being... I mean, this is going to be a kind of a gross description, but it is kind of accurate. The body can be opened up, dissected, and sewn back together and be up and moving again in the matter of hours. And that's just kind of wild. Like, it's really cool, but I think we just, like, kind of brush that off. When it is amazing. Like, I could go have, I don't know, open heart surgery, and I could be up and walking by the end of that day. Open heart surgery has a little bit more recovery time with it than a smaller opening, but you know, it's just kind of wild. That's all. I think I just really am amazed by how far medicine has come as well. You know, I don't know what sparked this necessarily outside of my, but it's just kind of crazy. It's still not enough to make me want a career in medicine or anything like that. Yikes. I cannot put up with that. Trying to figure out at what point do we call it quits with the fishing, because we have fished for quite a while, I will admit. We fished 5,147 times. So the next mending book is around the corner. Part of me wants to fish until we get the mending book today, but the other part of me says that's unrealistic and we should probably cut my losses at some point. You know what we'll do. Okay. Hey Siri, set a timer for 20 minutes. Okay. Now we have 20 minutes to catch a mending book. If it works, great. If it doesn't, then, you know, we'll at least know what I want to do after that. If I want to pivot and do something different, or if I want to start wrapping things up. Because that'll be before the ad break happens, and it'll have enough time that I can delay the ads if I decide I want to do something small, or if I just want to end right then and there. I'm not suspecting that will end, but, you know, the internet's kind of being a little weird, and I have no clue what's happening with it. So I'm trying to be a little cognizant of that. I don't want to, like, spend a ton of time today if it's being super laggy. But I also want to spend time fishing, because if I can get a mending book, then there's a good chance that we'll have, well, I'll have something that we can do in next episode for one. But, you know, my stuff is breaking so often. Like, my helmet, this is my second helmet, and it's already starting to fall apart. My sword is falling apart. My pickaxe, I'm kind of debating putting mending on that one, because it's a fortune pick. And I want to use it more so that I can get more cobblestone, but also the other part of me saying, the next game drop is just around the corner. If I can just hold out a little bit longer, then I can still touch all of my stones and be just fine. So I'm kind of weighing that in my head a little bit. So I've been very lightheaded today. I don't know what's with that. I have also been very hungry today. That's another thing. I'm not very hungry usually, but today I ate... For lunch, I had chicken, like a piece of chicken, a couple big spoonfuls of corn, and then I had a bunch of mashed potatoes, and then after that I had a piece of cake. And then for dinner, I had some sort of like shepherd's pie, like one of those frozen TV dinner kind of things. I had that, and there was something with it. Garlic bread. I had some pieces of garlic bread with it. And I'm still hungry. Like, I'm hungry now again. Usually what I eat is like, you know, a very small serving for lunch, and then not very much for dinner, and then I eat maybe something for a snack afterwards. But I'm like considering a third full meal today. Back, I fell asleep. Welcome back, Nathan. If you need to hop out, like, and sleep, please, dude, like, definitely sleep. But if you want to hang out, you're more than welcome to. We'll be here for a little bit while longer. It's just a fishing day, though, so it's not like you're gonna miss too much. Maybe a mending book. If we're lucky. Welcome back, Nathan. It's all good, yeah. Just wanted to make sure. Oh. You know one video I need to make? I keep saying I'm gonna do it, and I keep forgetting. I have this wireless microphone set. I'm supposed to do a VR video with it. And I need to get around to actually doing it. Maybe... I kind of want to do, at some point, a VR tour of all my builds. So maybe after the King SMP Season 3 video comes out, then I'll have all the world downloads that have needed to be done. Those will be out. Then I can kind of get all my save files together and figure out which ones I want to do a tour of in VR. And then we'll do the, then we'll kind of figure out where we're going to go with things, because I think it would be fun even to walk around the Forever World in VR. I don't know. I feel like I would want to do some more big builds before we do that. But we'll just have to wait and see. I think that would be a cool build to see in it, though. I don't know. I've got a couple of cool video ideas, actually. A walk around the Forever World sounds cool. I think so, too. I mean, could you imagine how big everything might feel? Because I'm a tall guy, okay? I'm 6 foot. But 6 foot is only 2 blocks tall. So when you look at, like, this, that is 12 feet up right there. Just that grass block right above that door. That is 12 feet up. So when you put that into perspective, you know, it kind of sounds interesting to understand how different that might be. I don't know. I'll have to think about that. I know I want to do that. I want to actually do a video showcasing like what my dream life would be, almost. Because I've talked about it on stream numerous occasions where it's like, I want this, I want that, and I want this and all this stuff, and I want to be doing that in order to make this amount of money, you know, all those sorts of things. I think that would be so fun to build that in Minecraft, like my dream property, and the dream life that I'd be living in that property. I think that would be kind of fun. So I'm trying to debate how that would work in video format and how I would want to actually portray it. But there's a couple of ideas. I've got a couple. Oh, efficiency 4 and Unbreaking 3 is amazing, though. I'll take that. There's a couple of videos I want to record with my friends as well. I know I've talked about that with them a few times, and they're down. It's just about finding time to do it. I kind of want to turn that off. Subtle effects, I'm assuming. General? Particles. Enchantment particles. Leaves. Fire. Back. Okay. XP. Items. XP. Projectiles. XP. That's all bottles. Okay. Entities. Flashes. Explosion. Okay. Experience. It may not be in here then. Let me see. Particles. Drip particles. Huh. I'm trying to think where this might be. It may not be in, may not be in that one. Effects. Particle effects, maybe? I've got just mod enabled and disabled. That's not very helpful. Okay. Trying to think what else that could be. Maybe it could be smooth UI. Doesn't seem like it. Okay. Immersive hotbar. Yes, that could be it. Animations, visual effects. Okay, XP bar. Animated XP bar. I want to... XP bar glow, level up particle. Can I turn that off? Yeah. There we go. Okay, that should fix it. I will no longer get the little poofy particles in the middle of my screen every 5 levels. That's all I wanted. As cool of a thing as it is, I feel like it would throw me off in the middle of a video. It might throw you guys off, and I don't want like every video to have people questioning, what's this? What's that? Like I don't mind answering questions, but that's the thing about playing with a mod, you know. You're gonna always have things that make people ask questions, and I think that's okay. King is trying to bamboozle us. I am. I actually think I want to do something. I'm thinking about it. You know, I've toyed around with making update concepts for Minecraft. And I've been thinking about, like, how just particles alone in Minecraft make the game infinitely cooler. Like, this right here feels so cool. I love it. Amazing. And it's just firefly particles, basically, around a lantern. But like you said, it makes a difference. Absolutely. When you throw an item on the ground with this mod, it adds, like, glowing particles. I think it's a little too aggressive, but I think just a little bit more animation around fallen items would be amazing. Like I said, again, too aggressive, but it's got the right idea there. This torch over here, it has some extra particles. I think that's more particles than it's supposed to have. Astral events, I think. Those shooting stars are awesome. The little nebula in the sky. If you're in a colder biome, having an aurora is really cool. I think a post-rain rainbow is really cool. You know, I think all those little things would be so nice and so immersive to Minecraft. I don't think we need snoring. That one I've just been kind of lazy to turn off. So it's not bothering me, but it's kind of like It does throw me off, I won't lie. Rain particles on water, another great thing that would be lovely to have. But I've thought about making a mod concept video for that. I've thought about doing it for an end update. Fixing phantoms, because I know a lot of people hate the phantom, and I'd kind of like to fix it a little bit, just as an idea for people. I'm also thinking about XP. I feel like we need a XP and enchanting update. Basically, I think we should remove the too expensive thing in the anvil. There's no reason we shouldn't be able to do things. I don't see why there's a hard limit. I get why it was probably initially added, just so you wouldn't keep infinitely repairing the same pickaxe, but quite honestly, I think that's a stupid enough reason. The grind for the XP is enough to kind of offset it. I think enchantment tables should get buffs. I think there should be some enchantment table exclusive enchants, possibly. I think if you get enough books around an enchantment table, then it should also offer like a level 60 enchant, and that has a chance of making a perfect item or something like that. XP bottles should be craftable from player XP. Yeah, that would be awesome. That would be great. The enchantment table, the biggest issue I have with it, honestly, is just it's kind of useless. Unless you're playing Minecraft like I am, there's very little reason to use it. I'm only using it because I'm refusing to use villagers until I get all of my mending books. But even then, like, a lot of my useful stuff has come from fishing. Fishing is almost a better choice than going through the enchantment table. Now, if you have a full enchant setup, it's probably not so bad. But I just kind of put on some throwaway enchants on all my tools before I go out and break them. Villagers are the best way to get enchantments, so we need to figure out a good way to make the enchantment table be more viable, I think. Like you said, XP bottles being crafted from player XP would be a good idea. I think maybe adding just like a 10% loss to it even, so that there's a trade-off, you know? Otherwise, I think people would be making XP bottles all the time. Having it lose some of its value because it's being stored away would be good. Just to add some risk and reward to it. I don't know. I'm just kind of thinking out loud. I think fishing could even probably use a slight update. I like the system it uses, but, I do kind of... I wonder if it's gotten bloated with all of the things you can catch from fishing. There's no fishing exclusive enchants. You catch so many different items that sometimes it kind of feels you know? It makes it not fun to grind. Would a Stardew Valley fishing system be better? Probably not. I think there's a certain joy to this current fishing system. I don't know. I truthfully don't know. I have thought about it. For King SMP Season 4, I'm debating possibly adding an upgraded fishing mechanic to that server. At least in specific areas, just to see how it goes over as like an experiment or something. But I've also just kind of thought about running a side server for my experimental updates for Minecraft, just to see what people think of it, you know? what would Minecraft look like if I were the lead developer, essentially, would be that kind of idea. So there may be like 2 King SMP servers running simultaneously. You got the vanilla one that's actually proper just Minecraft vanilla, and then there's the KingRegNog edition, I guess. And that would be more reliant on data packs and maybe even mods. I don't want to use too many mods though, if I can. I want to make it so that the mods are client-side only. That way Bedrock would still be able to play, if at all possible. But there's a lot of stuff that go into that might break it, so I gotta reconsider some of that idea probably. Exciting, yeah. I like the ideas. It's just about getting the hardware, and we're getting there. We're getting there. I don't have a ton of money set aside, but I've got like a lot of plans so that when the money is there, it'll be pretty instantaneous. We'll at least have the lobby set up within probably a day, I would imagine. And then I'd start testing things with network. That way you guys could hop on and help me test all the new things that we're adding. I'd like to add some lobby parkour, and I'm kind of thinking we'll add a leaderboard as well. So you guys would be able to compete for different stats on even just the lobby. I think there would be some fun stuff that we could do with that. There's a vanilla and testing. There will be, yes. That's the hope anyway. That's what I would like to do anyway. Ohana, thank you for submitting your taxes. I appreciate it. How are you doing? Good to see you. All good because you're closer than you were yesterday. You have such a positive outlook. I appreciate that. Oi, you. I know you. I know you. Oh, man. Let me sit up straight. Crying out loud. No more shrimping. Okay. Can I do this? Just trolling wholesomely. We love some wholesome trolling. Honestly, kind of the best. Kind of the best kind. In my opinion. Oh, how are you doing though? It's good to see you. Oops, that was early. Sadish, I'm sorry to hear that. Completely fair though. Oh man. Completely and totally fair.
Hello there.
Mr. Gober, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. My Discord got hacked. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that sucks. That really, really, really sucks. I've never actually had my Discord hacked, but I've had people try to steal my Microsoft account, my Instagram account, things like that, and it always sucks. Trying to fight support in order to get it back in some cases, but also it just sucks because you don't know what they're doing with that account, and you hate for it to ever reflect poorly on you as a person as well. Go Burr. Hey, Cora, welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. I'm Bounty Top 10 in Donut SMP. Dang, okay. That's kind of crazy. I've heard a lot about Donut SMP. I've never actually played it. I've seen clips of people playing on it too. It lives baby kick down. You mean down as in like you understand it, or down as in like reduced? I would give you money on Donut SMP. I don't know if I'll ever hop on it. We'll see, maybe. Possibly. I have to make Mom churro flavored pork rinds for her trip down to Walt Disney World tomorrow. Ooh. Man, Disney World. Yeah, they call it the happiest place on earth, and I won't lie. Every time I go, it seems like something kind of mildly traumatizing happens, but I have a lot of good memories there. And the churros, oh my goodness, they are pretty good. Let me just say, they are pretty good. I hope her trip is fun. I hope she has a good time. No, I reduced it. Okay, gotcha. Well, that's good for you, I hope. And probably good for both of you, in all honesty. Last thing you need is, a little one running around sometimes. Not that there's anything wrong with having kids, guys. Kids are great. We love kids. But, you want 1, make sure you can afford them. 2, that you have time for them. 3, that you can, responsibly bring them into the world. I didn't mean to kill Jack, but he forced my hand. I don't have anything clever to respond with, so I'm just gonna let that set. Chapstick is a conspiracy theory? Real. I don't use chapstick. Like, I'm pretty sure it's just a made-up concept. People spend billions of dollars on that every year. And, I'm over here just, I don't know. I think I probably would benefit from chapstick, probably. In all honesty. We're not in position for that right now. That's fair. I figured as much. Just from the little bits that you've told me. But, you know, life changes sometimes. I cannot type today. Liv's lack of literacy is rubbing off on me. That's creepy. Mom can't eat churros anymore, hence why I make it out of pork rinds. That's fair, and that makes sense. That makes sense. I'm sure they're delicious. I haven't had a churro forever. I'm hungry. Admiral, are you there? Are you still here? Sees all your leather boots. Is that why I have an Uncrafter add-on in my Minecraft worlds? That is why I have an Uncrafter add-on in my Minecraft worlds. It's a lot of leather you can't use anymore. Exactly. It would be kind of nice if you could even just throw it into a furnace and it smelt it back down into leather. I know that's not how it technically works in the real world, but anything would be great for that. Because, like you said, it's a bunch of leather that I will never, ever get. It's just a bunch of boots. Now, luckily, I do have some plans for them. I'm kind of intending to use these for the armory later on. I'd like 1 set of every type of armor. And by that, I mean I want every color of leather. I want every single armor trim on every color of leather. That all right there is like hundreds of combinations, I'm sure. Because you got 16 colors and what, 24 different trims or something like that. So 16 times 24 is a big number that I can't do mentally right now. I think it's over 300. 384. I'm dyslexic. Is that even the right number of trims? I can Google that really quick. How many armor trims? Minecraft. 384. There's 18 unique armor trims. My bad. 18 times 16. 288. That's 288. Wow. Okay. Somebody also did the math here. So there are 11 different types of armor trims with 10 different types of materials to choose from. So with the 7 different types of helmets, which is turtle, plain leather, chainmail, gold, iron, diamond, and netherite, and then the 6 different types of chest plate, leggings, and boots. Holy cow. That is 770 different helmets, 660 different chest plates, 660 different leggings, and 660 different boots. Now, that neglects the different colors of armor, because leather armor actually has different color combinations. It's not just 16. You can actually mix colors. So you can have something between red and orange. You know, you can have a slightly different color there, apparently. Which means you could have a huge number. I can't even read that. It's 3 undecillion, 379 decillion, 989 nonillion, 725 octillion, 893 septillion, 42 sextillion, 141 quintillion, 337 quadrillion, 879 trillion, 313 billion, 762 million, and 140,000 different combinations you can make with armor trims in Minecraft, including colored leather armor. So that means you could have, like, a helmet that's some shade of blue. Like blurple, okay? And it has the Vex armor trim with a netherite material applied to it, while your boots are made out of diamonds, and it has a amethyst trim
Hello there.
with I don't know, like I can't remember all these things. I'm sorry. Skloofy, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Blurp. 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 That's a lot of numbers. Don't try to understand women or what they want. It doesn't work. Absolutely. You are 100% right, Spicy. I tried to understand women. I don't understand them. There's nothing against you women. I've just learned I can't understand you, and that's okay. That's a lot you gotta lock in. Yeah, I need more boots. 2,750 alone besides mixing colors. You're cooked. Oh my goodness. It's gonna look really pretty if I do it, though. Oh my goodness. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna sort that. Holy moly, don't think you're making it. I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna do every combination. That would be a little crazy. But I will probably do no color mixing all the leather armor. I mean, if we dedicated like a stream to just doing one armor set, you know, all the colors just once per stream, you know, that's 16 right there. So 16, 2,750 divided by 16. That's 171 streams just from that. And that's only 16 per stream. You know, I might do more than that on some streams. I may do none of it on other streams, but, you know, we could make it happen. So much armor. Could you imagine how laggy that's gonna be? I'm gonna have to build like a specific vault in the middle of nowhere for this. Or I almost fell asleep again. That's fair, Nathan. That's completely and totally fair. Also, ads are gonna be starting soon. Hang on, let me see. Yeah, those are starting soon. Let's wrap up stream really quick. I'm sorry, guys. I don't want ads to hit, but I need to, like, go do some things here in a second. One of those being I need to pee, but the other of those being I need to eat. And I also need to finish editing this episode, which I'm not even really close, but I need to do, like... How much work do I need to do in order to finish it? If I can finish the rough cut tonight, then I could probably finish it all tomorrow, all the editing, which would be ideal. So, we'll see. Pizza night too, wish me luck, gang. Alright, sounds good, Spicy. Good luck. Have fun. Tell Liv I said hi. I'm trying to go to YouTube. I need to go to Twitch. Mute tab. Boop. Who do we want to raid? Okay. We've been raiding the Plague Pals before. They're fun. They're always fun. Let's go say hi to them. If you want, guys, hop in the raid, get some free champ points, meet a close streamer along the way, or group of streamers. The Plague Pals are always a good time. They're currently playing Star Wars: The Old Republic. I referenced it earlier. That's actually where this gate that is in front of you is from, is a building in Star Wars: The Old Republic. So, fun fact for you guys there. They also do Extra Life, which some of you who are from King Alfie's community would be familiar with. Alright. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you next time. Go sleep if you need to sleep. Bye-bye, guys. Bye.